Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I am here with a small update for the Yuh-portfolio. And as you can see in the title, it's already noted. One of the reasons why I'm making this video is I bought ENG. But there are actually two reasons why I'm making this video. So the first one being buying ENG, and with doing so I also received 5 Swiss coins. So now I have 280 in total on the U account, but that's not that important. One of the most important things why I wanted to make this video is a second reason, and that is the normal flow on the stock market and how you should deal with it as an investor. Because the stock market is going to go up, but it's going to go down as well. And the previous 2 weeks on the European stock markets, the stocks went down quite considerably just because Trump got elected. Okay, there were also companies that reported bad third quarter results, like Bayer. The third quarter result wasn't good at all, so that one dropped quite considerably. But for the rest, actually, the news wasn't that bad. The only thing that moved the stocks down was Trump being elected. And when you see your portfolio in the red and the number that it is in red since its top is being, when you invest 100 euros and it was 10,000 euros and it drops 5%, yeah, you lost 500 euros. So the next 5 months, that goes in your head, the next 5 months when I'm putting 100 euros into the stock market, I'm just filling up the pit of the 500 euros that the stock market went down. But you need to know how to deal with that. If you can't deal with that, then investing isn't for you, and you should consider, doing something else with your money. But first off, I bought ENG. I had 90.53 Swiss francs left, so I converted that into euros. And with those euros, it was 95 and a bit euros. I wanted to buy ENG. I already wanted to buy them Wednesday evening, so around 5. But the Yuh platform wouldn't let me. It was 14.5956 euros at that time. And I contacted the Yuh platform and I said, hey, why can't I invest into ENG? I also take into account the 10% margin that I need to have in order to have my order being let through. So when you have, for example, 200 euros to invest, you can only invest 180 euros because you need to have 20 euros as a reserve, as a margin. So I took that into account for ENG. That's why I wanted to buy only 5 shares and not 6. So I said, hey, what is going on? It won't let me trade ENG on your platform. And they said, okay, we are going to look into it and we are going to let you know when it's resolved. And the next day, when I was going home after my meetings, my initial meetings at my work, I went home to work further from home to be on my ease at home so that I could concentrate better. And when I was waiting for the train, I checked my phone and I said, okay, ENG, it's moving up. So probably the sentiment on the stock market is turning. So I'm going to buy it now. So I tried it and it passed. The only reason why I considered buying the 5 shares was also because I had the trading fee credit of 50 Swiss francs on my Yuh account when I opened it, and it's still available till the 5th of December. So buying only 5 pieces, it's only 73 euros, but I only have 0.11 euros fees. So in the future, most of the time, I will buy over 100 euros or 100 Swiss francs in stock so that I always have less than 1% in fees to be paid. So 110, 120 euros, 120 Swiss francs. I will put orders in for around that amount, if that's possible, of course, because BKW, for example, or BKW, that's more expensive. That's 150 Swiss francs, more or less. But I want to have the fees less than 1% in the future. But now I was fortunate enough to still have the trading fee credit. So I purchased 5 pieces at 14.662 euros for a total of 73.42 euros. And you might say, hey, Joris, you always say that investing in banks is not the best option. And you're right. I I always advise to, when you want to invest into the bank sector or financial sector, to invest into ETFs. But in Europe, you don't have the best choices. You have two choices that are decent, but they only invest in American stocks. When you want to have dividends from the ETFs, and that's both from X-Trackers, and you can buy accumulative ones, but I'm not a fan of accumulating ETFs. Certainly not when you invest into the bank sector, because you invest in the bank sector and financial sector because they pay out high dividends. So I want to see those dividends. So I want to urge Amundi and BlackRock to convert their Eurostocks banks or Europe financial sector ETFs into distributing types as well, so that we can buy at least distributing ETFs that invest into European banks and European financial sectors companies. And I went for ENG because I have two stocks, two banks that I really like on the European continent. That's ENG and Raiffeisen. Raiffeisen because they are a local bank, and local banks are what is really important. And a lot of the bigger banks, they are closing down a lot of local banks, and I don't like that. So I want to support Raiffeisen, but I can't because on the U platform, Raiffeisen isn't available. So the best next pick is then ENG. And ENG, I know the bank. I was a customer there when I was living in Belgium. And my uncle is a bank director of ENG in Belgium as well. So I know the bank very well and I like how they do business. And that's why I bought 5 pieces of ENG. But that's just my opinion. It's not financial advice. You shouldn't do blindly what I do. So do your own research and, yeah, do your own due diligence before you go and buy something. And then, of course, yeah, the market goes down. And on the 25th of October, I made the previous update of the Yuh-portfolio. And actually, this update doesn't really count as the third update. But on the second update, the portfolio was worth 833.78 Swiss francs. On here on the graph, you can see it was 833.82. I couldn't change it to 833.78, but you get the picture. And I had 90.53 Swiss francs in cash position. So I was really fortunate with that, so that I could profit from the downturn of the European markets to buy ENG more cheaply than it was 2 weeks ago. And with that, I have now ENG with an over 7.3% in dividend yield. So that's really nice. Okay, that's brutto, it's not netto, but you know what I mean. But since that update, yeah, Trump got elected over the weekend, and then European markets started dropping because, yeah, America is so much more important than Europe, of course. And then there is panic on the stock market. Why? I don't know, but it's the way it is. And the 2 weeks that followed till Thursday morning, actually, it dropped to 782.66 Swiss francs. So Volkswagen dropped, Swatch dropped, Logitech and BKW, they dropped as well during those 2 weeks. Then Volkswagen picked up because they announced their cooperation with Rivian. They were going to put extra money into the cooperation with Rivian. They already announced that in their third quarter announcement because they put aside provisions for doing so. But yeah, investors they want to have black on white that they truly are going to put 850 or 1.5 billion into Rivian, so that they yeah that they don't have to report read the whole third quarter report to see what is going to happen with Volkswagen. But that's another story, of course. And the portfolio went down to 782.66, so this means a drop of 51.16. The Swiss coins are still worth the same. The the amount didn't increase or didn't go down, but it's 51.16 Swiss francs, and this means that 25% of what I normally contribute every month was lost in just 2 weeks. And you need to be able to deal with that as an investor. If you don't like the feeling of losing 25% of what you've put in into the market, then investing isn't for you. I already said it with if you are investing for longer with 100 euros a month and you have already 10,000 euros and you lose then 500 euros, you need to be able to deal with the fact that you lost 5 months of investing money. So that's really important. It can happen and it goes really, really, really fast on the stock market. So what do you need to do? Just keep adding. So I bought ENG and now it's back up to 870.41. Of course, the 73.15 Swiss francs, euros that I put in into I should have converted it into Swiss francs, of course, so it's not completely correct. But what I put in into ENG, I need to subtract it. So I'm up more than 14.60 Swiss francs again, because yeah, this one is in euro and the euro is 0.946 and a bit Swiss francs right now. So, and the stock markets are recovering today, yesterday, and you need to remember that we in Europe have great companies as well. And we have to believe in them more. And that's what was failing the past 2 weeks. So the stocks were dropping like crazy. Not actually crazy, but it was crazy that the Trump election had that big of an effect on the stock markets here in Europe. Just because he says that he's going to focus more on America doesn't mean that European products aren't going to be sold anymore in America. For example, the machines of ASML, when they say, hey, we don't need your machines, they can't produce the chips that make their economy great. So they can't forget about that as well. So I put my money where my mouth is. I say that I want to invest in European stocks. So I selected 20 European stocks for my Yuh-portfolio, in which I can invest in on the Yuh platform. And now I already own 6 of the 20 stocks that I selected. And normally in a little bit over 1 week, I will have invested in a seventh one. And then I will make a third update for the Yuh-portfolio, so a true update for the Yuh-portfolio, where I will go over a lot of the third quarter results of a lot of the companies that I have selected for the Yuh-portfolio. So, for example, Bayer, yeah, the third quarter results weren't good at all. So it dropped on one day more than 8%, around 8%, I think, that it dropped. So yeah, it's uh, it's it's quite annoying for the people already invested into Bayer, of course. But for me, I'm still waiting for the conversion point. For BASF, I think the conversion point is already happening. You can't you can't see it yet in the price to earnings ratios, which is now really high, but it's just because it just turned positive again after the third quarter results. When the fourth quarter comes by, yeah, then the PE value will be quite nice to invest into BASF. So maybe I should do it now before other investors only also have finally figured out that BASF is turning things around. But now I'm just hoping that the seventh stock that I have my eye on to buy on the 25th of November, that it doesn't go up too high in the coming week, so that I can buy it at a good valuation. So with a PE below 18, so it's not Bayer, so and it's not BASF. Bayer doesn't have a PE yet because it's the earnings are negative for yeah, quite negative actually. But with that being said, I thank you for watching to this one. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Hitting that like button helps out the channel as well, because then this video is recommended to other people that like this kind of content as well. And see you on the next one. Bye.